Right, nice to see you all again. Yesterday was taken up with everything that was going in London and everywhere else about the right, far left. You know what? We're still here, and we're the guys who fought for the country. Have a read of the Mail today. Yeah, you'll see what's going on. Read between the lines as well. I put something in there, and the greatest leader this country's seen, Winston Churchill, is where we are today. If it wasn't for him and what he did, and I'm not going to go into the politics of it, but I am going to say my piece. We're here because the Nazis are not here. Nazis, if you want to call them that, I don't care. It could have been a statue of Hitler. Now, think about that. Shouldn't take you long, you bright guys and girls and kids. But before going to anything, this is about the Falkland Islands, which finished today 38 years ago on June the 14th. I was there. Hardships, I was there. So were an awful lot of other brave guys and girls. They were there. Don't forget, it's not a script. If you want to interrupt at any time later on by questions, feel free. Memories? Yeah, lots of them. However, before we do that, I'll just promote my book and the rest of the stuff. My website, www.rusty-firmin.org/shop. You go there, you get my book, Go, Go, Go. Inspiration for the film, 6 days. There it is, there's Jamie Bell on the front. Plays Rusty Firmin in the film, 6 days. Netflix. The definitive story of the Iran embassy siege. Take a look. Read it. That's it. So, first of all, that's one out of the way. Secondly, we come down. By the way, that's on Audible as well. It's been out for a little while, and you can pick that up. Just type in whatever you do for Audible. People like it. I don't use it because I'm deaf, so it doesn't matter to me. I could be looking at Lauren Hardy or the Waltz. Yeah, I love the Waltz with a passion. They give you something to talk about. The regiment, 15 years in the SAS. That's me there in the middle. John Mack on my right, Soldier Rusty on the left. Johnny Twocombs at the back. My picture. Anybody reproduces that, they can't without my permission. That is mine, and I've got the original. But it is from when I was born all the way through to 1992. The next book, I'm waiting for a few chapters to come out because I know they're going to, I've been told. So I'm waiting. Hopefully you'll have a pile of non-fiction books. Important? Yeah. Your choice? Of course. Who dares wins. And then behind me is the print. I've got so many prints now and sent so many out. Most of them said they'd like to have them in the lavatory. Rusty looks over me in the lavatory. Fair enough. Does it matter? Not really. Pride and place in the lavatory. But when you look at it closely, pride and place in the office or the home, depends how your wife is feeling, if she wants it there. And if it's a female who wants it, does your husband want it there? Test them out. And normally I get them off signed, dedicated if you want, fairly quickly. But that's it, you know, it's a bit of a fun thing. So, and this started off actually in the lockdown and that Channel 4 thing that was supposed to be, oh, let's not talk about that one. I don't want to talk about it. That is non-fiction. Not. It is total fiction. True. So, we can actually move forward if we want. And then we've got the YouTube channel. I'd love you to pass it around, guys, girls, because it's real. It's doing really well. How many other people can say they've got nearly 12,000? Sorry, I beg your pardon. How many can say they've got nearly 7,000 in a few months? Not many. You've just got to look at it. And tonight's will be a good one for those who want it. So it is YouTube, but actually the name of it is Rusty Firmin, SAS TV, and it's free to subscribe. I don't give a lot away free, but it is free. And if you could pass it on to your friends, mates, what you want to call them, even your bad mates, one or two of them might pick it up. And it might change their perception of life. It might give them something to aim for. Just think about it. It's free. Today is the final day, or was the final day, June the 14th, 1982. So, yes, lives lost. And they were lost on both sides. The war was, I think, if you don't correct me on this, but actually I think it's probably an undeclared war. But nevertheless, it was a war. We were fighting people thousands of miles away about something we didn't have an awful lot of knowledge about. And I have to say, I'm one of them. Yeah, I was given a briefing, not a very good one. If you read in my book, Operation Mikado, you'll see what I mean. What I will say is that Mrs. Margaret Thatcher put a task force together to combat what was going on. Would that happen today? I don't know. I don't know everything. But with what's going on as of yesterday and the day before, certain groups can get away with what they want. But nobody will get away with calling me a far right. I'm a veteran. 27 years in the military. But that's not what I'm talking about. Again, I'm talking about where we are, what we did. And it's quite simple, actually, because out of all of that time, you know, it took me 37 years to get in contact with Max Vernon. But those are nothing to do with the Falklands, by the way. But he was chief negotiator on the Iranian embassy siege. I didn't make a point of going back to people and saying, by the way, we met when the film 6 Days came out, and we met in London the night it was released, and we've been friends ever since. We do speaking engagements together for people who want to know. That's great. But let's go forward to the Falklands again. And it's difficult at times, but I've got Julio, who came into my life a couple of weeks ago, as an outsider. I didn't know who he was, never heard of him. I've never been in touch with anybody in Argentina since the Falkland Islands erupted. Now, everybody remembers the Pebble Beach. They remember, because that's a golf course, they also remember Pebble Island, which isn't a golf course. And, of course, the stories by people, individuals, get misconstrued, and the Waltz have a field day. Well, actually, after 38 years, just short of, I get an email, and it's to do with, the mission I was involved in. I didn't know, but let's be honest, who does? Who did? Who cares who wins? I do. And I'm here for everybody that's willing to listen. So it's a long intro, and a lot of it's covered in my book, The Regiment 15 Years in the SAS. Top secret? No. Unfactual in parts? Possibly. Can that be ironed out tonight? Yes. And that's what I'm going to do. But my YouTube channel is actually responsible for getting those facts together. It wasn't designed to do that. It was designed to portray different stuff, let the public know, because they don't. And if some other people would go down the same lines, everybody could have a perspective. Oh, yeah, that happened, this happened. It's 40 years on. Let's be honest, the World War II veterans, and one when they were here, some of them are still around, told the story. Mine is keeping you guys entertained. It's not big time, it's not little time. It's as I remember it. So, if you get it from me, like today, when the Facebook page I give you, go on there and you'll see everything that happened and has happened since, going back in time. So, yes, we lost lives in the Falklands, some of it by accident, and the odd one by heroic actions. And so did the rest of the British Army that were there and involved. We, and I mean all of us, should respect that and remember it forever. Just Wednesday gone, I went to St. Martin's Church. I met Anne and Sean, and they'd asked me to present on behalf of the lads that never came back, a puppy. And at the back, which I'm waiting for footage for, which you guys will get, is some video, because I was doing the talking, I was doing the speeches, and this was on behalf of Combat Stress, of which I'm not actually a member of them, but I couldn't turn it down, and it's in my backyard, or was in my backyard in Hereford, St Martin's Church. The lads that lost their life on the helicopter incident, 19 or 20 of them are buried there. And every time I go to Hereford, I call in. First point of call is there. Pay my respects, go and see Soldier Eye, Pete Winner, Mink, the rest afterwards. That is my first point of call. And as long as I'm alive, that will be it. So, it's not, Anne is at the present if you want to call her rector, you can call them, she's in charge of the church, and love the idea of being presented this on behalf and dedicated, and I was the guy who did it. Yes, memory's gone by, but actually, let's not forget anything. You look back, now I'll come on to that in a second, lives lost in battle are going to happen. We've seen the protests over the last few days. Says a certain guy abroad lost his life. Those police officers have been arrested and will be dealt with. Mine is, look at them. Soldiers' lives matter. Is that taken seriously? No. No, I doubt it is. So, here we are fighting day by day because of other stuff. The soldier's life that matters doesn't even get mentioned. But, because of the likes of us, we're here today. The Falklands was part of that. And people, some ways it's lost its way a little bit because of Afghanistan and Iraq. Our soldier was sent there illegally. But that takes precedence over what was in my opinion, a legal battle. Nobody wanted it. Shit, I was having a great time. I was on a Portuguese course in England, learning Portuguese to go and do a job. Gone. Rusty. So I'm giving you the inside information which you've never had. But it doesn't actually make any difference. I'm fighting for my country. And that's what I volunteer to do. Get killed, you get killed. Somebody else speaks about you. I'm lucky that I'm here. And, the war lasted, 73 days? Something like that. Some people say the 5th of April. I know it was the 2nd of April to the 14th of June. Today, that's when it finished, 38 years ago. So, let me just read a story Nothing wrong with that. Julio, the guy I was sent, one of the 10 to eliminate. However, he's watched these YouTube channels and thinks it's fascinating. Why wouldn't it be? After all, I was going there to kill him. Even though you can't say that, I can say eliminate him. I can say I'm going there to make sure he doesn't go home. Listen to this. And I mean it. Dear Rusty, it never occurred to me that I would be writing to someone who could have ended my life 38 years ago in Tierra del Fuego, at the bottom of the South American subcontinent. What the hell was I doing so far away? And who the hell is someone who could have taken my life? 2 individuals worlds apart, literally, on a collision course. Let me introduce myself. My name is Julio. I do have, by the way, his surname. And early in 1982, I was a young fighter pilot assigned to an elite squadron in the Argentine Naval Aviation, 2nd Fighter Attack Naval Air Squadron. That was their elite. We had recently returned from France, where we had been trained flying Super Étendard. That's the aircraft. This was an aircraft with a state-of-the-art anti-ship weapon system at the time. The AM-39 Exocet missile was a deadly combination, which had yet to stand real combat test. Although Argentina had purchased 14 aircraft, only 5 had been delivered by the beginning of 1982, along with 5 AM-39 missiles, Exocets. However, destiny had other plans. Because of unforeseen circumstances, Plum Duff Operation, a preliminary reconnaissance SAS mission, failed and led to the cancellation of Operation Mikado June the 3rd, 1982. Fast forward to the future, Russ and I can tell our stories, which bring us together as friends and better human beings. Today, June the 14th, I remember the end of the Malvinas Falklands War, and sad as it may be for Argentine soldiers, I salute all brave men in uniform from both countries who gave their lives in line of duty. Yours, Julio. So, as bad as it seems, and we all lost friends, we had Germans and English since World War II, going back to World War I when they met each other. And I've never met Julio, but I think anybody who read that would think there is a respect there. Put life on the line for the country. What do you get back? That's probably the little bit that isn't there. So we all moved forward, which we did. And as I say, it's 38 years for him to get in touch with me. And without this channel, possibly we'd never have done that. The book's out. It mentions Mikado, Operation Mikado, in great detail. And if it had gone ahead, I would hedge my bets that I wouldn't be here today to tell the story. Trust me on that one. If you don't trust me on anything else, it was surrounded by top-class troops. The conscripts were over in the Falklands, trying to deal with the Falkland Islands. And if you read my book, you'll see there were going to be a lot of problems ahead. It never happened. The reasons are in my book. That is a statement from Giulio. I'd love to meet him one day. He said he comes over to the UK, he flies over here actually. So one day it might happen. And of course, for those of you, any storytellers, any music lovers, I can't mention the name because they're Manchester City supporters, of which I'm Liverpool. But the lyrics from one, "Don't look back in anger, I hear you say." Difficult. Difficult. Especially with the guys I knew that went and never came back. So some of you will know the lyrics, where it came from. "I don't look back in anger, I hear you say." Look forward. As far as we can, we look forward. And that shouldn't change. Ironically, before I finish, I was given this by a good friend of mine. I drink red wine. Take a look at that. The Hereford Bull. Below it, Argentina. So, Hereford, home of the SAS. Argentina, subcontinent, way, way miles away. But they make wine with Hereford on it. Don't know how that happened, but actually, I'll drink that tonight. And I was told to put it on, well, I'll speak to my mate. Once it's gone, put it on there for somebody, sign it, Hereford, Argentina, for no other reason that I didn't expect. Absolutely not. But we were there. So I'll drink to that. If anybody wants it, it'll go up for auction somewhere. And that'll be tonight's, the last day of the 38 years. At the moment, it is full, you can tell. Take a look. Tomorrow, it's going to have a hole in it overnight, and it's probably going to be drunk. Or maybe it slipped out. I don't know. But I hope that it's informed you of some stuff that nobody else knows. Nobody. It's not in papers, it's not in books. And who dares wins. And that's what we did. In the Falkland Islands, everywhere else, that's how we get our name, and that's how we get the motto. Stay safe. Hope you enjoy it. And it comes from here. It's called a heart. And I'll have some more good stuff for you. But I had to go into the Falklands tonight. I can't go into Mikado too much, as I've done it before. But I have to touch on it to give you an idea of the last day. And when you see the thumbnail that starts this off, That was me way back in 1982 on the last day of the war in front of the Bukhara aircraft. So, bye for now.